Thank you, Karan, Mohit, Divya, Anisha. You've been excellent hosts. I'm sure everybody enjoyed the last 2 days and all the fancy stuff that you've been doing. I've discovered two secrets. One, Mohit is a great Bhangra dancer. So, stay tuned for more meetups where you will see him in action. And I also found out that Karan loves to play Holi. So I'm sure it was fun for all of you, but most of all, thank you to each and every one of you for being with us over the last 2 days as we celebrated the India developer community. It has been a pleasure serving all of you over the last 1 year, and we are overwhelmed with all the love, the engagement that you've given. The session started yesterday with Erica sharing with all of us how we've grown to more than 5.8 million developers from India who call GitHub their home. It is super, super exciting to see that we added 1.8 million over the last 1 year. But what's more exciting, and Karan talked about how I always love anything open source, has been seeing that Indian developers have been driving the most engagement on open source over the last 1 year on GitHub. This is just fascinating. I come from a very different era. I started coding in the last century. I always like to say this because I keep people guessing, what my real age is. But it's so great to see the changes that have been happening in the ecosystem with young developers like yourselves, innovating and contributing back to the open source community. So we thank you for all the support. So the last 2 days have been great. I know it has been a power pack session with so many content coming your way. But as Karan mentioned, all of these 22 sessions will be available for you on demand for you to go and check whenever you feel comfortable or have time to do so. Once again, thank you so much. I also want to talk about what Shanku and the engineering team took you through in the morning. There is a lot of convergence that is happening across security, across development, collaboration, especially in today's world where everybody is distributed. We have so many customers from India who are really driving innovation and leveraging GitHub for getting their teams to collaborate and build software. And these customers are all of all sizes, whether large or small, from any industry, whether they are companies that are transforming into software companies or born digital companies. And one such large organization is Cognizant. Cognizant needs no introduction. They are one of the largest developer companies in the world with teams and customers across the globe that they service. Let's hear from Hari, who's the AVP Enterprise Architect at Cognizant, on how they are driving transformation and developer productivity using GitHub.
Hello, everyone. Cognizant's internal IT team serves one of the largest enterprises in the world with 300,000 employees worldwide. It's a Fortune 192 company, $16.7 billion in revenue. Company's critical business operations runs on internal systems and processes. As part of the Cognizant's digital insight strategy, which is about transforming the internal processes and internal systems, it is based on three-pronged approach. First is modernizing employee experience. Second is building a strong data and integration foundation. Third is modernizing our application ecosystem on enterprises cloud-first, mobile-first strategy. We have to be kind of very nimble and agile in our processes. And we also need a cultural shift in terms of how we deliver our products and services. Our entire engineering processes and tools have undergone transformation using GitHub and DevOps. Hundreds of software professionals now on GitHub. The conversation is shifting towards how do I engineer the code? How do I internalize the best practices available in the industry?
Thank you, Hari. Let me now talk about some of the programs that Erica mentioned, and I'm sure all of you are as excited as I am when we announced it yesterday. And these programs are really going to drive the engagement for developer communities across students, startups, and the open source community. Many of you have already started applying for these programs. I am so overwhelmed by the mails that we've received from each and every one of you over the last 24 hours since we announced this. I do request you to leverage these programs and give feedback. A lot of these programs we have created over the last 1 year based on the feedback that each and every one of you gave on what you expect from GitHub. We are really looking forward to feedback coming our way for creating more such programs to drive the engagement with developers like yourself. And the whole purpose of this is, to get more and more developers onto platform like GitHub. There is a huge generational shift that's happening in the industry today, with more than 500 million applications that are slated to be written by 2023, which is more than the last 40 years combined. I think it's a great opportunity for open source, for students who are stepping into the software development world, and also for enterprises to leverage GitHub to really build software. And that's been our purpose ever since we started our operations last year, to serve you better, to be closer to what you would require from a platform like GitHub as we push the boundaries of developing applications to move human progress. So really excited to be here. And in a way, it's been great doing this virtual session with you. I can share that, last year when we were kicking off our operations, we did our kickoff on Valentine's Day, 14th February 2020. It's so vivid in my mind. It feels like 10 years, but it's only been 1 year. We were, expecting 250, 300 people to show up, and we had 2,000 people show up at the event, and it was a physical event. And we were overwhelmed by the love that we got from developers. And I'm sure by now doing this virtual, we were able to reach out to more and more developers across the length and breadth of India. So really excited, and I'm thankful that you were able to spend that time with us. As a next step, I would request that each of you follow our repository on GitHub. This is a public repository that we've created to share more details about the 3 programs that we've announced. And also, on an ongoing basis, we will keep sharing meetups, hackathons, more programs, and you can use the discussion boards to interact with the India team on how we can engage with you a lot better. I think closing Satellite would be incomplete without me talking about my favorite moment, which is, Yoga to Cat, which we've unveiled for India. I just love this Mona avatar. And I'm sure you can see the details in the lotus petals that show the Git operations. For a community connected by code like India, this is, I think, a wonderful representation of what GitHub is and what it means for India. Thank you very much, everybody. I wish you a very happy Holi. For those who are going to be attending the workshop, all the best. I hope you have a great time learning from our engineering team on how to use GitHub in a more powerful way. Thank you, and have a good weekend.